We went to the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City, and I kind of took it upon myself to make sure I was on that bus because my dad grew up enjoying some Negro League baseball, but I didn't truly know the history up until going to the museum. So being able to be there with some of the guys was a lot of fun, and just to see some of the artifacts that they have and some of the art that they have was really rewarding.
That was my first opportunity getting to visit the Negro League Museum, and it was just an amazing experience. My whole life I've been learning about the Negro Leagues and just the great players that made it possible for me to play in the big leagues.
No sport holds to its history the way baseball does. It is that one sport where we consistently compare the greats of the past with the stars of today. The story of the Negro Leagues is one of those stories in American and baseball history that has never really been talked about. And for me, every time I talk to one of the young athletes, I always let them know that the thing that they share in common with the players from the Negro Leagues, love of the game. But you will never see a greater example of love of the game than you do when you walk through the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Whether it's Jackie, Elston Howard, Pumpsie Green, those players more or less introduced the game of baseball to me, and it's all I've loved to do. And whether it was signing up for a local little league or playing travel baseball, what those players did in the past, it definitely paid dividends for me when I was growing up.
It was an awesome experience, hanging out with Bob for the day. His storytelling skills were unbelievable, so amazing, and just learning about all the greats.
Whether it was Josh Gibson or Jackie or Hank Aaron, the list goes on. He had a story for every player that made it just feel more authentic. It's one point to just really look at the pieces and looking at the art, but it's another point to, have a story behind everything.
So from most vantage points in the museum, you can see the field, but you can't get to it. And so the only way that you're allowed to take the field here, you have to earn that right. And you do so by learning their story. And y'all, by the time you bear witness to everything they had to endure just to play baseball in this country, now you can take the field. And in many respects, you are now deemed worthy to walk out on the field, as I like to say, with 10 of the baddest brothers that ever played this game.
I love to learn the history about baseball in general, but especially the Negro Leagues because they represented the minorities who make up America. We come from inner city areas or areas of poverty, and a lot of times when we look on TV, there's not too many guys who represent us. So it's great for us to have that foundation, for us to go back to and learn and understand that there are people who fought for us to make it to the major league, and there are people who love this game and played and had their own successful league.
Everything the museum offered was worthwhile, and I can't wait to go back and see what they have to offer next time.